When the crocodile bit the elephant's trunk, he clearly did not realize that he was making the biggest mistake of his life. The enraged giant picked up the reptile and hit it on the surface of the water. And then, he started trampling. One of the most epic battles involving rhinos that caught the camera lens ever. These lions decided to attack a heavyweight that could reach a weight of about 3 tons. And it must be admitted that the predators took the matter seriously. They assembled a combat group of experienced and seasoned hunters. Such numerical superiority could help the lionesses deal with another rhinoceros, but not with this particular individual, which turned out to be much more daring than the predators thought. The lionesses circled next to the rhinoceros and deliberately exhausted it. They squeezed the ring, swooped in on the enemy, attacked him again and again, but at the same time carefully immediately retreating when the enraged beast began to fight back. Experienced hunters wanted to make a massive enemy chase them. Then the rhinoceros would get tired, run out of strength, and go on the defensive. That would be the end of the battle. No matter how powerful the armor is, if you do not attack the enemy in response, sooner or later he will achieve his goal. Apparently, the rhinoceros understood this. Pay attention to his endurance. He furiously attacks the lionesses, but does not allow himself to be carried away. Stop as soon as he realizes that he will not reach his enemies at all. He doesn't panic. He doesn't fuss. Every punch and throw is verified. The rhinoceros pays attention only to those lionesses who come close enough to attack, and does not pay attention to the environment at all. No fuss. This is what saves the giant. Although he does not have a sharp horn, his ramming blow can break all the ribs of a lioness and crumple internal organs into a cake. When the hunter realizes that the rhinoceros is getting closer to them and the hunter themselves begin to get tired, they have to retreat. The rhinoceros withstood the siege of an entire pride of lions, and he probably remembered these cats. Look at how another family of rhinos attacked a lion peacefully resting after lunch. Probably experienced herbivores know who they are dealing with and want to drive predators away. The lions needlessly angered such opponents. When this seagull managed to find a group of emperor penguin chicks that had strayed from adults, it was a real feast for the bird of prey. This chick is very, very large. Probably much larger than the predator itself, but it's very much practically helpless. They huddle together and try to cover each other up. But the heart of the seagull is as cold as the climate in Antarctica. A ruthless bird of prey attacks the chicks, swoops on them, and grabs one of them with a strong beak. The massive chick resists, but is unable to give a decent rebuff due to the difference in strength. And there are adult emperor penguins nearby. They are all in the sea, hunting fish. The chick has no chance. But not all heroes wear capes. The lone penguin was passing nearby. Just look, it's such a funny feathered little baby with an elongated beak and round eyes. Even an adult penguin is smaller than a baby emperor penguin. That's just a brave heart beating in the baby's body. And the Adelies hate the Pomeranians, so the penguin bravely rushes at the seagull and takes away its prey. The Pomeranian is shocked. Wolves are one of the most effective predators. Each animal alone has great strength and developed hunting skills, and teamwork increases the chances of catching prey even more. If 3 wolves can take down a huge deer or even an elk, then how can an ordinary otter give them at least some resistance? It turns out it can. The predators clearly underestimated this incredibly agile opponent. The otter was far from the water, not in a winning position at all. But she does not give up and desperately resists. Thanks to its amazing flexibility, every time the wolf tried to grab the otter, it twisted and clung with its small but sharp fangs to the enemy right in the sensitive nose. And it happened several times. As soon as the wolf attacked, the otter immediately launched a counterattack. The rest of the wolves tried to grab the victim from different sides, stretch it out, and literally tear it apart. But the otter turned out to be more agile and flexible than some kind of snake. She dodged every throw on the run, moved with lightning speed, and seemed to flow between the enemy's paws like a living liquid. A little more, and dexterous predators would have been able to catch the otter, but the intelligent animal knew where it was running away to. In a moment before the enemy's fangs closed in on its throat, the otter dived into a deep snow hole. The den turned out to be suitable for a small animal, but too narrow for wolves. And in South America, there are giant otters that are capable of even more impressive feats. For example, here the otters gave battle to the jaguar. But this is the largest predatory cat of the New World and the third largest panther in the world. But the otters were acting too smoothly. Against one, the jaguar would have been easily emerged victorious, but the whole pack was able to show the spotted aggressor that they should not have to be messed with. A large otter the length of a lynx's body, armed with very sharp teeth and great speed, is able to pat its very beautiful hide. Jaguars understand this. He tries to intimidate the pack so that he can rush into the water and attack one of them, snatch it out, and take it to the land. But the otters are fighting back against the jaguar in real formation. He realizes that if he throws himself into the water, several otters will immediately attack him from all sides and drown him, and the jaguar retreats. And even one giant otter can overcome a small anaconda. Still, dexterity and resourcefulness play no less of a role for animals in combat than straightforward physical strength. These young cheetahs don't know who they're messing with just yet. Neither 2 of them, nor even 5 of them, would have defeated an adult rhinoceros, which can easily turn over a car with a couple of powerful blows of its horn. But the young predators do not understand which Terminator is in front of them. Well, okay, they'll understand now. The rhinoceros is even slightly surprised by the impudence of cats and will gladly teach them a lesson. Just now, he was a slow, almost motionless hulk that gave the impression of sleeping and too heavy monster. The cheetahs thought that they could sneak up and pounce and bite into his throat. It turned out that this small mountain not only has legs, but is also able to move them very well. The rhinoceros took such acceleration from the spot like a knight's horse, and went to a similar ram attack to sweep the predators out of the way. The rhino doesn't even seem to be trying to finish them off. If they get under their feet, he will break all of their bones, and if they manage to escape, it's also good. They'll remember who it's best not to mess with in savannah. The mountain lion is one of the most dangerous and toughest predators of the New World. Although it belongs to small cats because of the structure of the larynx, it surpasses even a leopard in size. When this guanaco noticed the leap of the mountain lion, it was already too late to dodge, and the predator managed to jump on the back of the ungulate. And the herbivore's problems did not end there. It turned out that this is a mature female who trains teenage kittens. They have little experience, but they already have the strength. The guanaco was surrounded by 4 predators. What should I do in such a situation? Well, for the inhabitants of the prairies, the answer is obvious: to arrange a rodeo. The guanaco only seems clumsy because of its long neck and slender legs combined with a barrel-shaped torso. In fact, this horse has incredible endurance and knows how to keep a furious pace. The cougar is in shock. She didn't know who she was messing with. Her kittens are trying to come to the rescue, but they only risk getting hooves on the head in vain. Just wait a minute. It seems that we don't know what kind of rhythm the guanaco has got. Yes, this is a real redneck dance. To such a groovy rhythm, the guanaco famously throws the cougar off its back and literally jumps out of the paws of 3 of its kittens. Just look at how well the predators work. The life of the guanaco hangs in the balance, but its speed and reaction save the ungulate, which managed to gain speed and break away from the mountain lions. They fly in the darkness of the night, swoop down on unsuspecting victims, attack them, and drink their blood. You might think that this is about some sort of exotic bat? Even though such winged creatures exist, it's not them who attack these poor hoofed animals. They are being attacked by vampire parrots. Pretty surprising, isn't it? These animals don't expect such trickery from the seemingly adorable birds too. So they really don't sense the threat and don't flee when they see these birds approaching in the twilight. And all of this takes place in New Zealand, where there are no large predators that could pose a danger to sheep herds. The livestock feel safe and freely roam the expanses even at night. Unfortunately, these unsuspecting sheep have tangled with no ordinary parrots that you can teach to talk. Instead, they're dealing with true monsters. The vampire parrots lack fangs. They simply land on their victims' backs and puncture them with their beaks. The key parrots are omnivores, feeding on larvae, insects, nectar, and fruits. However, these birds live in the high-altitude regions of New Zealand, where it is definitely quite cold, and there's really not that much nutrient-rich food. Due to this, the parrots suffer from a lack of vitamins. It seems that to supplement the deficiency of certain vital nutrients, they have now diversified their menu with animal blood. Usually, sheep are the victims of these vampire parrot raids. For a long time, this bloodthirsty behavior of kea parrots remained a mystery. Just a few years ago, researchers discovered that some individuals behave like vampires, which was honestly quite shocking for people. After all, kea parrots have an excellent reputation. They are among the most intelligent birds globally. Kea birds are curious, active, and quite friendly towards humans, and often kept as pets. Moreover, these birds are masters of flight and apparently engage in acrobatic maneuvers just for the fun of it. Yet they are also capable of attacking sheep and other helpless animals to drink their blood. The wound from a beak strike is not particularly precise and can be painful. Still, the parrot doesn't care about the victim's discomfort. It simply drinks the blood flowing from the damaged tissues and then takes off. After which the parrot remains on the sheep's back, even if it attempts to escape. Sort of reminds me of a somewhat eerie rodeo scene, doesn't it? Moreover, the bird can sit on its prey in this manner for quite a while. Such an attack doesn't lead to any fatal consequences. While the wound might look brutal, it doesn't damage any vital organs and isn't particularly deep. Nevertheless, the sight of a bird settling on an animal in twilight and acting like a vampire is impressive and frightening, wouldn't you say? Of course, such a parrot doesn't attack humans. They're not the right weight class for them. Moreover, if a kea parrot becomes a pet, it likely won't suffer from vitamin deficiency, so the need for blood kind of disappears. But who knows? Perhaps it's worth looking at a pet bird a bit differently now. It's hard to say why the antelope nudges the newborn into the water. Is it trying to teach it to swim? Attempting to wash it? Wishing to get rid of an extra mouth to feed? In any case, this behavior clearly doesn't sit well with this bird right here. The waterfront is its territory. This marabou is a member of the stork family, feeding on frogs, insects, reptiles, and carrion. Hoofed animals don't seem to realize that. To them, the massive stork is just a quiet neighbor leisurely searching for frogs near the water's edge. Well, the gazelles clearly underestimated the bird's bloodthirstiness, and allowing the little one to stay close to it was a mistake. The scavenging stork eyes the little one as if it's an obstacle hindering its walk along the shore, or as potential food. The gazelle fawn is alive, but for the stork, it's a temporary inconvenience. Just watch how calmly the bird grabs the youngster by the legs and nearly drowns it. Fortunately, this story ended well. The stork couldn't be bothered to finish off the fawn, allowing it to escape without serious injuries. Still, that fawn won't ever approach this bird without fear. Here's the funniest gang you've ever seen. Turkeys formed a true gangster group and decided to take over this territory. Just to look at how confidently they're strutting around. It seems like they're about to walk into a local cafe with an offer you can't refuse. Do you need protection? They sure think you do. This cat clearly misunderstood whom it was dealing with. It thought that it could easily disperse the group of birds, but received such resistance that it had to run away. Before, the cat could have chased the turkeys, and now the tables have turned. Ducks look quite cute. I mean, they could be cute, right? Just look at this example of interspecies friendship. Isn't it charming? It might seem like the birds are practically in captivity by the cat, which treats them like toys, sparing them its claws and sharp beak only on a whim. These ducks lack both claws and a sharp beak, so they're defenseless. Well, these cats also thought that way and regretted it when the duck showed them who's the boss. They messed with the wrong bird. The duck turned out to be aggressive and very assertive. It attacked with its beak, which can't cause any injuries or serious harm to the cats, but really, when the duck nips, it really hurts. The cats try to fend it off, but the bird attacks with such force that it corners them and pins them up against the wall. It seems like it ignores all the claw strikes to its head. The cats are shocked. They didn't expect this kind of aggression. The bird continues its assault. It really wants to teach the cat a lesson they will remember for a long time. Don't mess with ducks. Owls are formidable predators that compete with eagles for the title of the best hunter among all birds. They indeed have several advantages. Besides sharp, curved talons and a powerful beak, owls have excellent night vision and hearing, can fly almost silently, and can handle prey larger than themselves. But here, the owl clearly underestimated its opponent. Crows, although not considered the most dangerous birds, are known for their resourcefulness and bravery. They gradually outcompete owls and even dominate them. The owl just wanted to rest, but crows show her that this isn't her place. Now, this is their territory. Although the black aggressors aren't trying to escalate the conflict fatally, they are determined to drive the owl away. They don't like such neighbor and achieve success. The owl simply didn't know who she was dealing with. The strong beak, capable of crushing small bones, can seriously harm the owl. Besides, crows have a very firm grip and can improvise on the fly to defeat a formidable enemy with minimal risk. Moreover, while owls are solitary, crows often form large groups. This way, they can overcome a predatory bird without much risk. And if the attack happens during the day, the crow's chances rise even higher. Underestimating them is not advisable. They might eventually oust the owl from their habitual habitat. Whose side are you on in this confrontation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We are interested to know your opinion. It is hard to find a more audacious bird than a seagull. They've turned their impudence into a true weapon. Thanks to this, they can find food almost anywhere. Seagulls have a reputation as seabirds, but they venture quite far from the shore. There, they easily find themselves a meal. These pigeons think that the seagull before them is just another beggar, like themselves, just a bit larger. They're not afraid of this bird, as it doesn't look like a predator. No long, sharp talons and beak like a hawk. But they should have seen the threat in the eyes of that scoundrel. This seagull leisurely walks past the pigeons, not in search of food people toss. The seagull scopes out a pigeon it finds more appetizing, and attacks when it spots one. The other pigeons are in shock. They didn't expect this turn of events. But if a seagull clamps onto its target with its beak, it's unlikely to let go. Despite its size and strength advantage, it easily dispatches the pigeon in a matter of minutes. And this isn't just one bird's antics. It's typical behavior for the entire species. If a seagull sees a chance to deal with any animal, it will surely attack. It's fortunate that we are so much larger than these feathered bandits, isn't it? Moreover, the seagull deals with its prey as efficiently as possible. If there's water nearby, the bird will drown the opponent, especially if it can't swim. If there's no water, it'll pick, lift, and strike the prey against the ground with its beak. The seagull might attack a sparrow, considering it a mere sandwich. Or it might dare to assault a larger adversary. Even land animals can't feel safe here. Here, the seagull swallowed a squirrel. The fluffy rodent clearly didn't expect an attack from this bird, and that was a big mistake. Attempts to hide don't always yield results. Here, the seagull fetched a rabbit directly from its burrow. The bird handled a quite large animal and swallowed it whole. But for every troublemaker, there is a stronger fighter. The audacity of the seagull infuriated this pelican. While the pelican's bill is ideally suited for catching fish, the seagull managed to find its way in there too. It clearly didn't comprehend who it was dealing with. The pelican dealt with it in a matter of seconds. Even crows can teach a lesson to seagulls. See how 6 crows chase a single seagull. The black-winged birds understood that teamwork and the ability to coordinate help when faced with a competitor, surpassing them in audacity and sighed. The seagull was simply bewildered. It was attacked from all sides and forced to leave its familiar coastline, which it used to consider its territory. It clearly didn't grasp that the rules had changed. And now, other feathered bandits inhabit the area. It definitely will not mess with crows anymore. So what instance of unexpected birds' bravery impressed you today the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. That way, you'll be among the first to learn about the most amazing, amusing, and epic moments from the world of wildlife.